Lord, my God and Father, creator of the heavens and the earth, inexhaustible source of love and mercy, I present myself before you this moment, humbled and broken, seeking the healing that emanates from your heart. There are wounds within me, Lord, scars from past experiences, pains that have nestled in my soul, and which, no matter how much I try to conceal them, continue to haunt me and shape my reactions. These are not physical wounds, visible to the eyes of the world, but rather silent flames that consume my peace, cloud my vision, and prevent me from fully living the life you planned for me. I feel the weight of old grievances, of disappointments that have accumulated like dust in forgotten corners of my being, of fears that paralyze me, and of sorrows that, at times, seem unbearable. I acknowledge, Lord, that many of these pains originated in moments of fragility, in wounded relationships, in misguided choices, but I also understand that, in my imperfect humanity, I ended up internalizing these experiences to such an extent that they became a part of me. They influence how I see myself, my relationships with others, and, most painfully, my perception of you. There are days when doubt knocks at the door of my heart, questioning your love, reminding me of the times I felt abandoned, even knowing that this is a lie from the enemy. This is why today, with the confidence of a child seeking their father, I ask you, Lord, for emotional healing. I do not aspire to a superficial forgetting, a palliative that merely covers the wound without treating it. I seek a profound restoration, a divine touch that penetrates the deepest layers of my being and brings refreshment, liberation, and renewal. I desire that your Holy Spirit, the comforter and teacher, guides me along these inner paths, illuminating the dark corners where the pains have settled. I want to allow your light to dispel the shadows of sadness, for your love to heal the unexpressed angers, for your truth to undo the knots of anxiety and insecurity that imprison me. I know that this process may be challenging, that perhaps I will need to revisit difficult moments, but I trust in you to give me the necessary strength and courage. May I, at each step of this journey, feel your constant presence, a secure embrace that supports me, a gentle voice that whispers words of hope and forgiveness. May I learn to forgive myself, Lord, for my shortcomings and my mistakes, and may your grace cover me, absolve me, and release me to move forward. May I also learn to forgive those who have hurt me, however difficult that may seem, understanding that forgiveness is an act of liberation, both for the one who grants it and for the one who receives it. This plea for emotional healing isn't driven by a yearning for human perfection, but rather by an earnest desire to live a more authentic life, one more closely aligned with the image of Christ that the Lord has imprinted upon me. Emotional wounds, Lord, erect barriers. They impede my capacity for full love, for wholeheartedly giving myself, for trusting without reservation. They compel me towards defensiveness, when what is needed is vulnerability, towards withdrawal, when what I most crave is connection. They warp my perception of reality, causing me to interpret innocent actions as threats and words of kindness as sarcasm. In essence, they distance me from the more radiant and liberated version of myself that the Lord desires me to be. Therefore, I implore, restore my inner being, Lord. Purify the troubled waters of my soul, calm the tempests that beset me, and sow within me the seeds of a new dawn. May my strength not stem from the absence of pain, but from an unshakable faith in your ability to heal and transform me. Through this prayer and the process it initiates, may I become an even clearer reflection of your love in this world, a living testament to the restorative power that emanates from you. May my life become a hymn of gratitude for the healing I shall receive. Lord, as I delve deeper into this healing that I so earnestly desire, I recognize the necessity of dismantling the structures of self-criticism that I have erected within my spirit. This is not merely about forgiving others or myself for specific transgressions, but about eradicating the incessant inner voice that points out my flaws, that twists virtues into arrogance and sincere intentions into stratagems. This severe self-judgment, often internalized since childhood through unfair comparisons or unrealistic expectations, becomes a distorted mirror, preventing me from perceiving the beauty and goodness you have deposited within my essence. It is as if a dense fog obscures the image the Lord has of me, replacing it with caricatures of inadequacy. Consider, then, how this manifests when, for instance, a new opportunity arises. Instead of launching myself forward with confidence forged by faith, the critical voice whispers that I am unqualified, that failure is inevitable, thereby sabotaging the very impetus to grow. Furthermore, emotional healing demands that I deconstruct the defense mechanisms that isolate me. Frequently, in my vulnerability, I construct walls of indifference or sarcasm to conceal my pain, to avoid the exposure I deem perilous. These shields, though conceived with the intention of protection, ultimately imprison me in a desert of loneliness, preventing your loving warmth and communion with my brethren from reaching me. They distort my relational patterns, leading me to interpret gestures of care as intrusions, or to harbor suspicion towards demonstrations of genuine affection. It is a vicious cycle, wherein the fear of rejection compels me to create the very distance I dread. Another crucial layer to this restoration lies in releasing the unrealistic expectations I impose upon myself and others. I have at times been taught that success is measured by external yardsticks, by material achievements or social recognition, thereby fostering an incessant pursuit of an unattainable ideal. This pressure, when unmet, breeds frustration and a gnawing sense of inadequacy that erodes the soul. Similarly, projecting these same expectations onto my relationships, anticipating that others will fulfill my deficiencies or conform to arbitrary standards, inevitably leads to disappointment and resentment. Consequently, for emotional healing to be complete, I must cultivate gratitude for the subtle manifestations of your grace in my daily life. Instead of fixating on what is lacking, on what has not been accomplished, the Lord invites me to contemplate the blessings I receive each day, the very breath of life, sustenance, the affection of those who love me, the beauty of creation. This daily practice of gratitude acts as a balm upon the wounds of dissatisfaction, reorienting my gaze towards the abundance of your love, even amidst adversities. Therefore, it is imperative that I open myself to the truth of your unconditional love, which is not contingent upon my performances or my successes. True healing does not stem from perfection, but from constant learning and confident surrender into your hands. May I, Lord, shed the armor of self-criticism and defensive mechanisms, allowing your light to permeate and transform every facet of my being, rekindling within me the genuine joy and peace that only you can bestow. As we contemplate the inner journey unfolded thus far, we perceive that the layers of our psyche, once perceived as complex and, at times, insurmountable, begin to reveal an underlying unity. The disparate currents of experience, the nuances of emotions, and the peculiarities of our reactions, when viewed under the lens of the pursuit of restoration, no longer present themselves as isolated fragments, but as threads that, masterfully interwoven by divine skill, weave the unique tapestry of our existence. It is akin to a mosaic, initially disorienting in its scattered pieces, which, as it nears its final framing, reveals a cohesive and resplendent image where each tessera finds its rightful place and purpose. The comprehension of these intricate connections propels us towards a new stratum of apprehension regarding our own humanity, opening a portal to a broader and more profound perspective. In this confluence of understandings, the perspective broadens, revealing not a final destination of utopian perfection, but a horizon of constant learning and alignment with a greater purpose. The complexity once perceived as an insurmountable obstacle now emerges as the very fertile ground where the seeds of genuine transformation can germinate and flourish. The movement of shedding old structures, not as an act of loss, but as a preparation to receive the new, echoes in every facet of our journey. This transition is not abrupt, but a natural unfolding, akin to dawn that gradually dissipates the night's darkness, heralding a new day with its promises of renewal. Reflecting on this path, it becomes evident that the strength of our pursuit lies not in the absence of challenges, but in how we choose to confront them, supported by a faith that transcends circumstances. The diverse facets of human experience, when examined with a hopeful gaze, converge towards a single center of gravity, the capacity to love and be loved in fullness. This convergence prepares us for a moment of synthesis, where learned lessons merge into a singular melody, resonant with the deepest truth of our being, and with the call that propels us forward, towards the completeness that the Father desires for us. This is the moment when the loose ends of our journey coalesce, setting the stage for the final reflections that will seal this intimate and restorative encounter.